Yeah. What's happening, everybody? Happy Thursday, and welcome to the Dollar Hour and also Changing Lives. Hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We got an awesome show planned tonight. Tonight we're discussing how to reach your goals in 2024. It's our annual show where we talk at the end of the year on how to reach all those goals, how to make those New Year's resolutions, how to make all those things you want to have happen in 2024, how to bring it to fruition.
That's right.
I want to say I'm sorry for being a little late, had a little technical difficulties, but I'm here in the lab and we're finna make it happen and everything.
That's right.
But you know, before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Man, I'm alright.
We run a little late. Hey, y'all rock with us. Y'all rock with us. You know, sometimes we be late. You can't, you know.
I'm sorry. But with the information that we're going to give tonight, it's well worth it. Well worth it. With the information we're going to share tonight. Again, we're talking about how to reach your goals in 2024. Right now, what we're doing, we're streaming live on both my YouTube channels. Sorry about that, Jendale. We are streaming live on both my YouTube channels, Mr. Short Dollar and also Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. We are on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter and Facebook. But the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel or the Changing Lives hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden YouTube channel. We've had an awesome year so far and everything as far as reaching the goals and everything. And I'm going to share with you guys a lot of stuff. I forgot my goal sheet. But share with you guys in regards to a lot of the things that I try to set upon, things that I didn't make. I didn't get my mics up.
I was going to try to tell you that once we stop for a second that you didn't have the mics up, but now you do. So we good.
Man, my bad. Which one? Said a live restriction on TikTok. But again, now the call-in number also, if you want to add to the conversation in regards to goal setting, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. Hold on one second. I'm going to try to get one thing straight right quick. And together. Okay. Booyah. Back in the mix. But yeah, again, tonight we're talking about how to set reach your goals in 2024. What I try to do also with you guys is share my process in regards to how to set goals, plan them out, and make your goals attainable. A lot of times people, start the year off, I'm going to lose some weight, I'm going to make some money, I'm going to start a business. And they throw all these big generic goals out, right? And at the end of the year, or even 3 or 4 months into the year, they're actually working towards those particular goals. Then something happens called life. And when life happens, now they sidetrack and they can't make things happen because, health, job, most of the time money, things like that throw off. And what I want to do is share with you guys my formula that I talk about all the time in regards to how to not only just set goals, set realistic goals, but how to make sure you attain them. And if you don't, even if you don't attain them, you've made enough traction in the process where you can feel good about the process.
Okay.
So again, guys, tonight's show we're talking about how to reach your goals in 2024. Remember, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. Let's see for you. Let me see something, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with TikTok.
They don't like you today.
I don't know, man.
At the end of the year, they want to give you a hard problem.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We're
gonna make it work without it.
There you go. Like we always do. But here's the thing about it. A lot of times when I talk to people in regards to when folks set consulting appointments and things not going that way, I'll ask the usual thing: did you set your goals? And then when they respond to the question, they set their goals or not. What kind of goals were they? They like realistic goals, starship goals, totally in the clouds, because we know what kind of person we are.
Right.
We can say, I want to start a business. I want to have $1 million in sales. Like $1 million? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? They want to sell all these T-shirts with really no kind of proper planning and everything. You guys know I'm an accountant by profession. I'm a straight numbers guy. So at the end of the day, I'm always gonna go back to we forecasting and planning based on everything with the numbers and stuff, and we want to make sure we can work where we're actually going to those numbers. Like I was talking to one of my sons today, and we were just kind of mapping out, his career plan. And And when I was telling him, I always start back by working back from the goal. When you at wherever you want to be at, what do we got to do to get to that point, and what we lay out that blueprint. So that's why I want to share with you guys tonight. So one of the biggest things when we start talking about goal creation, well, the first thing is number one, that goal creation. Again, we're talking about how to set your goal, how to reach your goal in 2024. That goal creation is the first thing you got to do. The first thing I do is the goal creation. And two basic things that you always got to look at when you start planning your goals. The goals have to be incremental and attainable.
Okay.
The goals got to be incremental and attainable. And what do I mean by incremental and attainable? The thing you got to say with incremental is something that you can do in order steps.
Okay.
Right? That you know realistically, it's going to take me a couple steps. You know, I got to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the next thing is just being attainable, being realistic. Okay? So
let me ask you a question real quick before we go forward. On the goal creations, how many goals do you suggest? You know, because we'll make from 2 to 30. How many goals do you think is realistic? Is realistically achievable in your opinion for one person?
Well, that's what we're gonna go over tonight in regards to once we start looking at the goal creation phase, how to map those things out, and then kind of X out the ones that are not gonna be able to flow.
Oh, okay.
But that's part of it. You good, Lab? You good? We only do this every year.
Right.
I'm gonna mess with Lab, y'all. You know. But no, seriously, you know, we start looking at it just for that. Those two things you gotta look at. Be realistic. Is it real? Is it attainable? And is it incremental?
Okay.
The incremental things you gotta make sure that, like, to say I'm gonna have a $10,000, you know, I got to do so many things to build it, right? If I'm gonna actually lose 50 pounds, can I break it down over a certain period of time?
Okay.
But being realistic, do I have enough time to lose 50 pounds? Can you lose 50 pounds in a month? Probably not. But if you spread it out, can I lose 50 pounds in 6 to 8 months? Probably so. So those are the kind of things we got to kind of look at it, right? So those two things, remember, guys, we start talking about how to reach your goals. We start looking at the goal creation, which is phase 1. The goals got to be two things. They got to be incremental and they got to be attainable, right? Realistic, not you hope, not you wish, not you pray, right? The first part of doing that, guys, we start talking about the goal creation process. We understand how this got to go. We get those two things. We bought into it. Those two things, realistically. We just start listing your goals. I want you to brainstorm. And when I say brainstorm, I use a method what I call free fall. Where you just get yourself in a place, you just write shit down. Just writing down, I want to lose this, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. Just write it down. You're uninterrupted. You're not judging yourself. You're not asking for feedback from any people. You're just writing stuff down. I'm going ahead and just write, you know, and get yourself in a good place. And it may take you a couple of days just to do it. You might want to come back or whatever. Again, we're talking about, we want to just kind of look at things we want to do. I want to rebuild my car. I want to fix my credit. I want to do this and want to do that. Right? And we have to sit here, but we still going back asking them two questions. Is it real? Is it attainable? And is it incremental? Right? We want to still kind of keep that down. We're doing it, but we're just doing that free fall, writing it down. No restrictions. And like I said, take you a couple of days, jot it down, right? And then after a few days, I would suggest maybe 2 or 3. Worst case scenario, 5. You don't want to sit here and just go over too long and just kind of, because when you start thinking too long, you might just be really reaching for a star. So after you done got that together, we're gonna start reviewing our list. Okay, we got this list of all this stuff we done wrote down. Get in the car, repair, fix this stuff, say that, all that kind of stuff. And we look at it, you wanna say, do your goals fall into those 2 criteria? That's what we wanna see here. The stuff you wrote down. Right. Do they fall into the criteria of being incremental and attainable? Right? And that's the thing about it when you're looking at it. And usually, once we start doing that process of elimination, start chopping stuff out. Okay. You know, can I make $1 million? You know, can I, relocate, in 2024 to California, right? And you can realistically look at, I ain't got no time to save, I ain't got enough money to move, right? I'm locked into a lease, right? We can just start Xing stuff out. Right? That's what we're doing now. It's not attainable at this particular point. Exactly. Okay. So now to your question. Hey, what's up, Mom? Sorry I'm late. From that point, when you start asking the question in regards to, matter of fact, y'all listen, me and Lab hitting that scotch, Lab don't drink, don't think about it, but Lab is hitting it. End of the year show, baby. You hear that ice? That end of the year celebration that we got going on. Oh, have mercy, boy. Y'all don't be jealous out there. It's just a little black label, so just a little something small, a little something small. I always say, boy, a man got a good stick and some scotch.
You're right.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. But when you start thinking about it again, Lab, you want to make sure they fall in those two criteria. Are they incremental? Are they attainable? Like I said, you'll start, cutting stuff out. And you can remove all the items that don't fall into those criteria, especially if they're unrealistic and they are unattainable. If they're unrealistic, they're unattainable, right? That's and you gotta be honest with yourself. This is part where I think it's difficult with a lot of people, because a lot of people want to make decisions off emotions. I feel like I do it. I believe in myself. I mean, it's cool to believe in yourself, but at the end of the day, we're trying to sit here and be structured to make to actually list things that we can put proper action in place to make these things happen.
Okay.
We can't dream that this stuff gonna happen. Capacity, things happen. If we can exceed the goals, great. Exactly. Hope, dreaming, and praying, that ain't gonna
God
make it happen.
got us.
Exactly. God got you listening to Mr. Short Dollar. That's what God got you doing right now. God got you listening to Mr. Short Dollar. That's what God got you doing. And that's what people need to, just kind of, be realistic with themselves. Make sure they are attainable and reachable in a time frame that's very important. Because again, we're talking about 2024. Some of these things may go past. You might have a goal that may take a year and a half, but you got to be realistic, because again, we're talking about 2024 goals. So you got to kind of make sure it can fall in that time frame. It may go past the end of the year, but remember, remember, incrementable and attainable. Those two things got to. What you about to ask, Leo?
Late line love too. Yeah, we know. He late. He apologized already at the beginning of the show. She said you late, Poochie. Also, I wanted to ask, would you add stuff from the old year to the new list for the new year? Like if you had 5 things you didn't complete in 2023, would you add those things to the top of the 2024 list, or would you let them go to the wayside?
No, you can add, I wouldn't necessarily add them to the list. It still falls in the same criteria, because the 2023 you and 2024. Again, guys, we're talking about how to reach your goals in 2024. We're going over phase 1, where we're looking at those goals being your goals, ideas for goals that may be incrementable and attainable. Those two fundamental things that your goals got to be. When we setting these goals to make sure they happen. Phase 1 is the goal creation. 2 things, incremental and attainable. Lab asked me, do we roll over the goals from 2023 that you couldn't attain in 2024? It still got to fall in the same criteria.
Okay.
Because again, the 2024 you is different. You might got more money, more time, or you might got less of the both.
Okay.
Right. So those kind of things, we got to make the proper adjustments with that. Do I got enough time to do that? Right. You may be looking for taking a vacation. A goal might be an 8-month thing that you rolled over from 2023, but you're taking a vacation in the summer that may have you gone for a couple weeks, right? Can you realistically do that? Why? You follow what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So you got to kind of, it's not a rollover, it still go through the same process. What we're looking at, the incremental and attainable. Follow through the list, can we make it happen, right? You got to do that. That's super, super important when we do this, guys. You got to be honest with yourself. That's one of the main reasons people don't reach goals, because they just say it. We write stuff down. Right. When it's on paper,
referring back to it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Guys, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. I think I got it on Change the Lives too. Where I made a video in regards to goal setting too, and I showed the board in my house. I got a couple boards in my house where I break down my goals from the year. I already got my 2024 goals listed, and I got the January 2024 goals already set. Right. I go through each at the end of the year, and we'll talk about it from a tracking standpoint, how to go back and look at it. But guys, you got to make sure they fall into that criteria. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. If you start writing down all this stuff down on paper that you don't have the capacity or the time to do, it just ain't going to happen. Right? None of us got that ass on our chest.
So that's what the 2023 goals that you said that you didn't complete. That's why you were assess those and say you didn't complete it for a reason, right?
Yeah, but that's part of like the end of the year. Because at the end of the year, we're going to do our end of the year assessments. Because I'm going to teach y'all to do it right.
Okay.
Because we had an end of the year assessment why we did what we did right, what we did wrong. But then we start just say, if you're new to it, it's your first time doing it, but it's something I want to do last year, like you said, rolling it over.
Right.
We still got to make sure we look at if it falls in that same criteria to make it applicable for 2024.
Okay.
Right,
now
so
let me do something real quick because I didn't know what it mean, and I probably did, but I didn't really know. Incremental.
Incremental?
I got it, yeah. relating to or denoting an increase or addition, especially one of a series on a fixed scale.
Yeah, well, in a nutshell, and I apologize. I should have said that. Just make it from a easy English standpoint. What's up, Brina? See, Brina came in. I think one of the easiest things to do is just make sure that something you can do in order steps.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, when you start looking, like I said, the whole example of losing weight.
Right.
Can we go from 0 to 50? No, we got to sit there and break it over a certain amount of time. With doing it, it's realistic to lose 50 pounds in 6 to 8 months, or even a year. But it's hard to lose that in 2 months, a month. You know what I mean?
Right.
So those kind of things we want to look at incremental and as attainable. It's realistic, and we can sit here and break it down over a certain amount of steps. And that's what people do. People, you have to make sure you put it in a realistic format for you to be able to achieve it. That's why far so often people just talk all the time. That's why shit never happened for you in your life, because you're always talking. You don't want to write it down. And what we do, what reason why we don't want to write it down? Because we don't want to be accountable to ourselves for it, right? That's why people, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and all that. Write this shit down so you can see it every day in your face. And they eat at you, And those
that's hard right there.
Oh, absolutely. Because think about how many times that you have sit there and just said to yourself, I should have did it, I should have did that, but it ain't nothing to check you on that. So that's why we want to kind of always make sure we got stuff wrote down. So again, it kind of checks us and makes us, accountable for it.
Yeah, I write a list all the time about stuff I need to do, and I go back to that list and I be like, ooh, and I start making another list because that list old, so I need to make a new list.
Well, we want to. That's why I said we want to make sure, because again, we know we got stuff going on in life, right? Kids, job, and stuff like that. So when you setting these goals, even though you want to say I want to do this over a month or two, you got to make sure we start from the incremental standpoint that you can break it down in phases and steps that can fit in your lifestyle, right? Okay. That's the thing about it. When we saving up for this trip, we know we got these bills, we know how much discretionary income we got set to the side. You have to sit here and be realistic, guys. That's why I say, those far too often people talk. I want to do this, I want to do that. You be, I want to. Ain't that Keith Sweat? I want to. Shit.
So you can want all you want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody want.
Right.
But on the few and the proud, gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to sit here and put those uncomfortable things in place, but make it realistic. You know what you can and can't do.
That's true.
Right? So that's why you got to sit here and just map this thing out, right? Again, we're talking about how to reach your goals in 2024 with that first phase, which was the goal creation phase. Guys, remember, right now this is Mr. Short Dollar and also Changing Lives. What I will say this, guys, you can always go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube or Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. And you can Google Mr. Short Dollar, or you can Google Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. You can go to the YouTube channel and check out this video in its entirety. So if you say, man, Poochie said something that I missed, you can always go back. And the fun part about this actual video, since 2018 and 19, hell, we've been making the same video at the end of the year.
Yeah.
The same show. So you can always go back to the YouTube channel and check out, if you have to leave in the middle of this show, and check out the video in its whole entirety. But right now, if you do have any questions in regards to information we're going on now, if you have any questions, feel free to call in. 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. The next phase, when you start going through the whole part of setting your goals and everything, is the implementation phase. We done did the goal creation. We done went through the list, make sure they're incremental and they're attainable. Now we want to start implementing everything. The implementation phase has a few steps with doing that. And this is the fun part. First thing you got to look at, for each goal, you got to write down the tasks you need to make it happen. Right? And you need to be as detailed as possible.
Okay.
So let's look at, when we start talking about, when you're looking at, I want to lose weight. We know we got to adjust our diet and all this other kind of stuff. You may get some kind of scale, or you count your calories. Get some kind of system in place. Things wrote down. I need to work out 3 or 4 days a week. Start writing this stuff down. I want to save a certain amount of money. I know I only have, $700 discretionary income, and I want to make sure I have $600 for a Christmas fund at the end of the year. I need to take $50 each month. So at the end of the year, I have $600 to pay for that Christmas fund.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
We got to sit here and start writing it down. Be as detailed as possible. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Right? And don't focus so much on, putting the right thing down. Just put it down. We can break it down over the period. That's why we want to make sure it's incremental. But if you can't reach it, it should have made it to this point anyway for the implementation phase.
Right.
So we just writing down the stuff we need. We know what we got to put in from a commitment of working out and dieting before we plan to lose weight. Right? We know that. So we start writing those particular things down. We want to save a certain amount of money. If we want to get ourselves prepared to go back to school or whatever, do I gotta make sure I get a certain test score? I gotta make sure I actually go apply for this particular thing. I go give my financial aid. All the steps you gotta do, just write it down. Right?
Okay.
Write it down. The next step, guys, that's where we're gonna list those tasks on a timetable. What I suggest, guys, you can always kind of, in project management they have those Gantt charts, but I always say you can get you a calendar and just, or even on a piece of paper, write down, this is the time. These are the things I want to do. List those times on it. You got to be very honest with yourself. How long it will take you to do it.
Okay.
And that's why it's very, very important. Can you realistically, when you say you want to lose weight, do you know if you can have 5 days out of the week to go work out? You might only have 2 days out of the week because you got to take your kids here, do this, that, and that. So again, write down how many days you got to be able to work out. Right? What meals, they're going to be your diet meals or whatever. Do you have to mix it in with what you got to do for the kids and things like that? All that kind of stuff we need to write down. We sitting down and doing this, guys. You got to be, with this step right here, you got to be super honest.
I was about to say, we getting real detailed, ain't we?
Well, we're going to make it happen.
Okay.
Well, see, because I'm just saying to you, think about it. When you got the plan wrote out, it's easy to follow it. When you don't have it wrote out, that's why people get off course. Because I'm gonna save some money. Next thing you know, they putting shit to the side and they spending it and doing this other kind of stuff and everything. Next thing you know, you're still in the same situation.
So do you add variables to this? What you're talking about? Like if you writing down losing weight and you writing down the meals you gotta make, and then on Saturday you go out with the office and they ain't on no diet. You write that? Do you add that in there?
You don't have to add that in there.
Okay.
You just add in how many days out of the week you feel like you can work out.
Okay.
You just feel like, okay, these amount of days I need, because at the end of the day, I ain't giving out a workout plan, but at the end of the day, look, if I can adjust my diet to this, and I can work out 3 days a week, something positive can happen. Right?
Okay, right.
That makes sense what I'm saying?
I got what you're saying.
You're going to have a couple days out of 7 days out of the week. If you can commit to, just say 5 days of eating okay, and maybe 3 days of working out.
That's going to equal something.
It's going to equal something.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying? Because, life going to be lifing, right? And I'm not trying to sit here and push people in a direction that, you can't do it, but you got to be honest with yourself, what you can and can't do from an actual standpoint of your ability and your availability.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you got to take kids to practice. You know? Now, if they at practice and you got to walk around the parking lot, or walk around the gym while they at practice, cool. Walk around the field. If you know that you're not, from a monetary standpoint, gonna be able to get a gym membership and things like that, what can you do different to add to the mix? Make sense? So you got to kind of take all these kind of things in consideration. We start looking at listing it out. And we want to kind of put that in, like, okay, this is gonna take me 6 months to do this, 6 months to do that. It's kind of mapping that stuff out. And we still doing the brick and mortar build, getting everything built up, guys. Step 3. It's real. This is very important. We're looking at that timetable, January, December. We want to start applying this stuff on that timetable.
Okay.
Applying it out. And then here's the thing about it. We got to sit here and look at it. What you can do from a yearly, monthly, and weekly. Okay? And here, I go back using that blank calendar with all your monthly tasks, right? And when you start looking at certain things in regards to how things can be done, be realistic. Is this actually something I can do in a week?
Right.
It is actually something I can do in a month. When I actually go through my goals and things like that, right now I'm working on the training phase for everybody for tax season. I know it's going to take me about 3 days to do that. I can't sit here and just map that stuff out. We're doing it. I already had it last week, plan on the whole thing that I had to go over. Now I got to implement everything. You got to be realistic about it is something that you can do in a week, a month, 2 or 3 months, or a whole year.
Okay.
And kind of looking at it. And we sitting out just trying to piece it out. Right? Those kind of things. And guys, feel free if you got any questions or anything like that in regards to how to, lay these things out. Feel free to it, because that's why we're here now and everything to do this. Because, we booked them appointments. That's when we spend the money.
Right.
This the free stuff right now, so feel free to call in. So you already listed it on the calendar. It said this is something I can get done in a year, month, weekly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got it. You start to plot it out, right?
Okay.
I can lose the weight 6 months. I can actually, get everything set up before I get new equipment for the studio. That may take me like a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We laying all this stuff out, right? Doing that and everything. That from the purchasing, the installing, the checking, using, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
We laying that stuff out. And here's the deal, guys. Remember, we got 2024. If it might be something, I'm gonna wait August to do that.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing you gotta look at it, guys. When you're in organizations and people gonna say they have a gala or a family reunion, you lay it out, right? You know what you got to do in order steps to be able to make it happen. Okay. So don't be so focused on when you're writing these goals to get everything knocked out in January.
Right.
Right, because a lot of times,
make the mistake, right?
I think it's natural if you're not used to it, because you're gonna say these are things I want to do, and you start off hitting it at the beginning of the year, and you say you might have 8 goals. Damn well you can't work on all 8 goals in January.
Right.
So it's nothing wrong with, okay, well, I'm going to take that start at it in July. I know what's my crunch time, January through May, right? I'm knee deep in tax season. So the things that are going to need a good commitment, I don't need to be working on them the first quarter of the year.
Right.
You feel me? If it's not really dealing with tax season, I don't need to be doing it, right? When we start hitting in the summer, my slow months, definitely when we get into the fall, shit, I can do a lot of stuff
in the fall.
That's pro poochie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when my money making season come around, I got to be to it. I got to get to it. You know what I mean? So you got to be realistic about your availability.
And you will put that on your list, like January to May. Ain't nothing else extra happen but this tax season.
Nothing else happen.
Okay.
And the thing is, I can mix in. They may be whatever. Because one thing you want to sit here and look at it, when we start going into the next phase, you want to make sure that you got to separate and placing the items on the calendar, and make sure you give more time-consuming tasks more than a day. You got to know that's going to take that. So even if you do that, me personally, if it's something tough to do, I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna do it during tax season, but I gotta be realistic. This got to be something that's gonna take a certain amount of time.
Okay.
When way my brain works, I'm more of a open processing early in the morning.
Okay.
I say from that 9 to 12.
Okay.
Once we hit 2 or 3 o'clock, I can't even see good.
Okay.
That makes sense. Like the words and shit on it. Yeah, I'm dragging. Now I can do more physical tasks.
Okay.
So if I need to move something, clean something, this, that, and that, I try to do that at least 1 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Right? But my stuff that I got to actually email, process, create, design, I try to do it in the morning with my brain processing.
Okay, I'm learning something now.
But the physical stuff, you see what I'm saying? Because I ain't thinking. I can't damn think. I'm tired, sleepy, but I can move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it comes from filing, if it comes from certain things, let me check this, that, and that, whatever. I move that to a certain amount of days. Some people focus better at night. Some people focus better. You know you, right?
Right.
And then take consideration how you are. Take in consideration of your availability. That being, when you got the time to do certain stuff, family and all, your freedom and all, however that is, you kind of mix it in with that.
Okay.
Because remember, guys, what's the point we're talking about? This is goals. These are goals. These are things that we want to achieve for ourselves. It's not, we want to be realistic how we lay it out for ourselves, but it ain't going to necessarily be comfortable.
Okay.
Right? So you're going to have to sacrifice some stuff here and there. Just kind of be, being real with yourself. We're doing no particular things.
Do you think people take goals as seriously as a responsibility like they do paying the mortgage? You know what I'm saying? Like, everyday responsibility. Do you think that's why they, in your opinion, that's why they don't achieve most of them, because they don't really take them seriously? They're like, that's just something I want to do. I get to that next year.
What are people that make things happen for themselves in their life?
Right.
I mean, that's when we start breaking up. It's not talking bad about nobody, but that's when things start breaking up, separating in regards to the have and have nots. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about if you're gonna lose weight, if you're gonna start your business, you're gonna keep the business going, if you're gonna do something different with yourself in regards to moving, getting a new automobile, getting yourself together. You know, getting it. I'm gonna tell you something that's fun. Like I got calls today. I got a couple calls today in regards to people needed taxes done. Cause I partner with a lot of brokers,
Right.
and mortgage brokers, and they'll send people to me. You know, they haven't done taxes in the past couple of years, but they're self-employed, and they need a rush job, get their taxes done and stuff. And we're gonna do the job for them regardless.
Right.
But I always look at this ain't the wisest thing to do, to sit and try to slam all this stuff. Where if you'd have just laid yourself a little time, you probably could have found certain information, certain things where it may not been a little bit more advantageous for yourself to do.
Okay.
A lot of times people, when they rush things in life, I gotta get this, I gotta. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to
unless
get it.
it's like health related or emergency stuff. Like a want is not does not have to be just
need.
rush. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And far too often people get those wants confused. I gotta get this house. I gotta get this car. I gotta get these clothes. No, the hell you don't.
Right.
Save a little bit more bread. Don't do this and everything. I ain't talking bad, but let's look at the observation that I noticed.
But people do that in business too. Like, say if they have a restaurant 2 or 3 miles down the street got the newest fryer. Then they feel like, well, I need a newer fryer because those people line be around the corner. It's got it. You know what I'm saying? You start trying to keep up because you want to make sure you have the newest and best, just like everyone else does. And that's not necessarily a need, right?
Yeah, well, that's you can't justify the income. That's what last week. I won't get off subject. Well, I told you the T-shirt guy told me he couldn't justify paying for my bookkeeping service, and I told him I went in the justification business. I was in the accounting business.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember that. I couldn't remember what the hell he said. He said, Deonte, I can't justify paying you $250 a month.
All right.
Like, man, I ain't in the justification business. I'm damn accounting.
I'm in the accounting business.
Hell, well, we do know your books effed up.
Right.
And they've been effed up for 3 or 4 years. So you make, we gonna keep it moving. We're 20 years in the game,
My
man.
book's good.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But to that point, man, just being able to, you gotta, you want to get new equipment, do certain things, realistically justify the cost. We thought, to take on that new challenge, take on that new cost. We did shows on that talking about a cost benefit analysis. Look on Mr. Short Doll on YouTube and check out the whole breakdown where we did a cost benefit analysis where you look at in regards to for you to acquire a new thing, a new task, a new object, a new cost in your life. What is the benefit? In your mind, you might be like, hey, we need to get this because it help us with our business. But in essence, it may not necessarily benefit you to do that because the actual cost of doing it, you're not making enough money to justify
it.
I share all the time that my eyes, when I go in businesses, and a lot of times, I always look and see, how everything moving.
Right.
Because what's my rule? We don't ever want to get traffic confused with profit.
Profit, right.
They got a line around the damn building at this restaurant, and everybody think they making money. But nobody have an idea how much they pay in insurance and rent and utilities and payroll.
Right.
And shit. They might just be scrapping to do it. And on social media, it looks good.
It looks great.
You see that all the time with a lot of businesses, a lot of bars, cigar places. It look good because people are vibing, having a good time. But vibing don't equal dollars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm telling y'all, guys, I done seen some businesses out here. You think this is probably the most simple, Simon, stupidest stuff, and they making big bank. They ain't dealing with a handful of people. They making money. I'm gonna tell you one that I told you. I know we talking about goal setting. I remember when I first started in business, probably about 20 years ago. A guy came to us. It was a brother. He had a valet service. He was a Georgia Tech graduate.
Okay.
This back in 03, 04, 05. This guy had 5 country clubs that were paying him a couple grand a month, and he paid one guy at each spot.
Okay.
Maybe $500.
Okay.
Everybody else was Georgia Tech grads, and they were getting tips.
Okay.
So he paid a guy $500. Plus, I think he had like maybe $200 to $500 insurance policy.
Okay.
That's his whole overhead. One guy manager at each location.
Okay.
And lab. he was making. I think he had each contract was maybe like $2,000, and then I think it was 5 or 6. He was clearing in like $1,000 or $1,000 to $1,500 a month. But let's say $1,000.
Okay.
5 spot, 5 country club. That's $5,000. He was clearing a month on some shit like lab. I mean, it was just something. I'm sitting here trying to plan out all this other stuff. He had contracts, paying one guy, paying the insurance, and everything else was just profit.
Right.
He got 5 locations. He was making $5,000 a month and wasn't doing nothing.
He was at home.
Nothing.
He wasn't parking in car.
That's over 20 years ago.
Okay.
My God, I can imagine what Joe would be making now. But I say that to say sometimes we don't have to overthink
the process.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got to buy all this and sell all this and do that and that. Sometimes it just takes a simple system and had 5 clients, 5 people, giving that man $5,000 a month. What they do that at? Right. And and it was a young brother. Right. It was a young brother. Right. And I felt so damn stupid. I'm out here trying to do damn taxes and shit.
You got home, got somebody else partying cars.
That was like 05, 06, man. He was making that kind of money. Doing that. I'm just sharing that in regards to when we start talking about goals, saying don't overthink things. Don't overthink things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You ain't got to do 30 things. You can do 3 of them good, and the money coming in, right?
And make what 30 would make.
Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. Like I said, don't get traffic confused with profits. There's a lot of folks out here busy. A lot of
real
folks
busy.
We say as simple as when we start talking about the tax preparation, your prices got to be right. A short dollar ain't low dollar. So your prices are right. You want to do taxes for $300 to $400, or you want to do it for $100. If I'm doing it for $400, you got to do 4 to get that one I'm making. Okay. What you think easy to do? Get 4 people, get one. Right. Come on, and what you think?
It's easy to get one.
Well, people not as confident in themselves, like worried about. Like the lady called me today. She said, Deonte, she said that's too much money. Shit. And I'm cutting her a deal, man. I know I was knocking off about $500 because it was a referral. Right. But I can't. The amount of work that was gonna go into it, I couldn't do it. Can't justify that. Hell no.
So let me while we talking about prices, I know we get a little bit off subject, but I took my little homie to the barbershop and I was fussing about it on Instagram. I posted a video about it, and I went there to get this is just a lining now. No haircut, no nothing. I know people got
for your beard,
for just the hair.
Yeah, okay.
Around the back, top.
Gotcha.
Now I know people got to make their money. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, but the lining was $30 without tip.
Yeah.
$30 for a lining.
Yeah.
That kind of hit me hard.
It hit you hard, but look at it from the other side, which is not the obligation of the customer to do. Right. But at the end of the day, if they paying $300 to $500 a month, remember I was salon on 17 years. Right. Depending on what they paying on a weekly basis, they still gotta be able to do so many of those. That's why I'm gonna be honest with you. I go to these damn cake and cookie places right now. If they own the business is one thing, but I'm trying to figure out if a cake costs you $20, you buy it for $20. Right. It can cost me anywhere $10 to $15 to make. Right. Can I sell enough of these damn cakes to cover my $2,000 overhead? Yeah, and my rent, my insurance, and all that other kind of stuff.
You talking about freaking 95 prices on that cake? Them cakes are $70, $80 now.
Okay, let's say if a cake's $70, $80, when no groceries done went up, it still might be, if it's $70, it might be $50 to make, right? Right. You got the funding, you got the personalized stuff and everything like that, right? So at the end of the day, say if you're still clearing out $20 a cake, right? Whatever. Can you sell enough of them cakes still to cover your overhead? Man, most time these folks all in their damn 401k. So that PPP money done ran out.
Right. Oh, and they want that back.
Oh, well, I'm just saying to you right now. Now you see people like, damn, it's tough, right? Now because one party said, I'm going to do it out of my house. From a capacity standpoint, what kind of oven you got, how many of those you can do. So we got those kind of things. They want to step out. Now I got this place. Can I realistically do that? Right? So those kind of things coming to fruition. Because you can be this person where everybody, I'm booked up. But a lot of these folks, they say they booked up. But again, their prices ain't right. They ain't making no damn money.
They ain't making no money.
Nah, hell no. Some are. See, I'm the tax man. I see everybody's numbers.
Right.
So, but that's why I want everybody to be realistic. Right. When we doing setting these kind of things, understanding how much time come into it, going to be into it, how much commitment from that standpoint, and move accordingly. When that lady called today, what I always tell folks, remember we said about prices. People's expectations do not drop with your price.
Right.
So if you feel like I'm gonna hook you up, I'm gonna be fair, man, down that shit. If you gotta go back and if something come back, you gotta go back and fix it. You don't want to feel no type of way. Like, man, I ain't hardly do it for nothing. Then I gotta go back and fix it or do something like that. And you know you ain't charged some shit.
Right.
No,
charge. You gotta double back on the same thing for the same price.
Always charge what you feel like. If I had to go back and fix it, or back and correct something, charge that.
Right.
And that's where you need to look at it. That's what, and if they can't pay for it, they can't pay for it. Because now you sitting there trying to make more money because your ass so damn cheap. Then you got to go back and fix something else that you didn't really get paid for, and now y'all behind. You got to do that.
Got to
The key thing with that, you got to be confident enough in yourself.
Okay.
I heard Steve Stop about 12 years ago say something changed my life. He said, when you feel like, you know, your prices should be a certain thing and you believe it and you're not willing to compromise on it, that's when you're going to start making money. You know, that's when you're going to start making, when you really feel like, no, this is what it's going to cost. Like that lady said, that's too high. A person don't believe in themselves, well, what you want to pay.
Right.
I don't want to do that, what you want to pay shit. Because I got to, not that I got so much money, I got so much business, I can't get caught up in with that with you if something happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if something happened, I got to fix it. I ain't got time to fix it if I ain't got no crumbs. You feel me?
I get what you're saying. Like, you got to cover the bases.
Exactly.
And you trying to cover all the bases. You can't get to the second base and then let third base be empty, right? So you got to cover all the bases.
And I told you that's why I said suicide. A lot of times people get in business.
What?
And they start, well, this the market, I'm going to be cheaper. That cheaper shit you have your ass close.
What Chris Rock say, you got to pay for the in case shit.
That's it. There you go. The just in case.
Hey, right. You got to just pay for the just in case, right?
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Right.
It's going to happen. And again, we're talking about how to reach your goals in 2024, guys. Really, really be realistic about how you mapping these particular things out. The next phase is you got to have, when we looking at having these goals, we done created the goal. We done sat there and broke down how we're going to lay it out over the year. We got all the plan in place on how we're going to do it. Next, you got to get a whole system in. That's what a lot of people miss. Get you some kind of accountability system in place. Get you a friend that you feel like, okay, y'all can go check each other, get on each other's nerves, but you can respect it when they say something to you. We in an age now where we got Google calendars. Yeah. We got Word calendar. I mean, not Word calendar. What's the Microsoft OneDrive, One Calendar? What? It's all kind of Apple calendars.
OneNote.
OneNote. It's enough shit out there that send you a message to make sure that I get them all the time. I set them things on my phone. Hey, do this, do that, do that, do that. You got you way technology is right now. You can still do that. Maybe you have a partner, y'all check off sheet, but you have to actually. You can put things in place that will actually keep you in check, remind you. Ding, 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 ding. You should have did this at this point. Ding, ding, ding. You get an alert. You get an email to let you know. You got to have that accountability thing set up in place. Number one, to keep you in check. Well, you're human. You can forget. You get busy and stuff. Have that accountability thing set in place, okay? What was what's the thing Lady Line Love say?
Oh, she said she's still here. She watching football or basketball. She's still here.
Glad to hear
She's watching basketball.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But definitely, that accountability thing is very, very important. And to the point Lab had earlier, be ready to make just adjustments to your lifestyle. Because what you said in January, the new job that you got in May, kind of maybe change. So you need to kind of see if you can make the changes accordingly and adjust to it. A plan can be adjusted.
You know what the hardest thing I find for myself is putting that list where I can see it daily. That's the hardest thing I have. I got all kind of calendars and all that stuff. But it just seems like me putting it in a place where I'm just going to walk by and see it daily. Because to be honest with you, the alarm on the phone is all right. But I really physically need to see these things so I can scratch them out. I just feel like that's a process. And that's the hardest thing I have is trying to figure out where to put this list at. Where this list going to be?
Where is somewhere that you know you're going to look every day? Your bathroom in the morning, your going in your car, maybe your visor in your car. Put it somewhere that shit gonna be in your face every day. Yeah. I have a office at home, an office in Riverdale. I got them. Shit in my face. Again, I got the annual goals and I got the monthly goals. And if you're doing everything on a monthly basis to reach that, remember, guys, like I told you, things that you got to do in 2024, you ain't got to do it starting in January. You know,
you got 12 months.
Yeah, you got 12 months to make it happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You can really start. There's some things you can start in February, March, or April, or May, and still reach that goal by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Just do that. You try to do 12 things in January, it's not going to happen.
Right.
It is not going to happen, right? No matter how much or how focused you think you are, you have something called life. It's going to sidetrack it. So that's why I say you got that timetable. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you understanding that, okay, listen, these are my major goals in regards to when I say major, not that you want to do them more, but they're going to take a tough commitment.
Right.
These are the things that I can hop on and do in a couple of days, right? You know, we're going to get your passport.
Okay.
You know, the passport thing, you just got to fill it out, get your picture, do that kind of stuff. That's a lot of in and out. You might take your passport between filling out the application, booking your appointment, going in and submitting it. That's something to be done in 3 days.
Okay.
It may be a day filling it out, and maybe a month or two from now, you know, saying whenever they set the appointment, you know, and it may not be that day. I'm saying a month or two. But again, doing that, you know, so those kind of things, you know. But when we start talking about, what is something that probably going to take a little while? Let's say if you want to redo your deck or redo your kitchen, or you want to, you know, the shit I've been rolling over every year for the past 2 years, my fish pond, which we're going to do this year. We're going to do my fish pond this year, right? Because I had to come to the realization I went from putting the damn outdoor area to now like, damn, I ain't gonna have the money because I gotta get this house straightened up, rental property straight. I'm just gonna throw some shit out there in that area. But the pond, I'm finna gonna buy everything right before the end of the year when all the stuff is dirt cheap.
Okay.
I'm just going to buy it. What I did do on my deck, I redid because the other year I bought all the furniture. Got it nice, grown and sexy out there. You been out there, you know, it look good, feel good, everything. But what I did now, lab, y'all come to the crib. I done took it off. I got the heater out there.
Oh,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You put the heat out
I got the heater out there. On low is hot. On low is hot, lab.
Okay.
Like,
so
man,
we on the deck, and it's cold. Look,
yeah, you out there,
it ain't cold on the deck.
Hey, you be like, man, let me put my bikini on in February. Poochie, what you got going on out here? But I said those are things I was looking at. Let me get that stuff in place, right? So those are the kind of things, you know, you're looking at it, right? So that's key thing, guys. Remember, you got 12 months to make shit happen. Do not try to do all 5 things at the beginning of the year. Lay it out.
That's the biggest mistake we all made.
Well, you feel me? There's some things you can start on in August, right? It ain't gonna kill you. It ain't gonna kill you to do that. You know, we all got that energy. I want to do it. Work on that car. Work on that project car later on in the year, right? If you want to sit here and actually plant these trees and stuff like that, find out when those trees a good time to plant them trees and kind of build it from there. It maybe if it's something that you got to actually plant in the fall or whatever, do it then, right? So you don't have to put all that stuff on you at one time to try to do it, right? And that's very, very key. But definitely, guys, you want to have those actual accountability mechanisms set in place. The next thing is, this is a key thing, make sure we actually do a monthly, quarterly, and yearly review.
Okay.
We got them down, we're working on them and everything. That monthly, quarterly, and yearly review. What I do right, what I do wrong, where I'm at. Can I roll something over? Do I need to just say, look, man, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work this year. You ain't quitting, you being realistic.
Okay.
You gotta be able to check yourself and be honest with yourself, right? Lab, when I started talking about that studio, it was not shit I could have did with that studio.
Right.
At some point, Poochie, look, it's more shit going out my pocket than coming in. I found out quick, these young rappers didn't have no money. They didn't.
Right.
You might look up and get you a drug dealer and come in, but when they come in your studio, hell, you might well have 420 day for every damn day. Your shit smoked out and all this other kind of stuff. They want to do that, have sex all in your booths. It was crazy. I'm trying to be a businessman, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. But at some point, I'm sitting here like, look, man, these folks had no money for studio times. All the damn time, I'm still paying rent on this damn bit. You know, I got all this expensive ass equipment. It couldn't work. You dig what I'm saying? And that way, it probably did better if that was my world and I was committing. But because I was housing it,
Right.
At year 1 and year 17 of the salon, the rent gradually went up, and market rent wasn't. The math wasn't coinciding with it. Plus, you had something called COVID. The girls started doing had home.
Right.
Because you had to close everything down. They found they can make money at home. But they ended up had to leave home. Why? Because that damn synthetic weed done tore up their damn plumbing.
Pipes was not big enough. Just clogging up the pipes. My name show said rappers are broke as hell.
Oh shit, man. Man, that's a whole nother damn story. But I'm just saying, like I shared that to say, at some point you gotta know, look, if this ain't working, we need to go. And this is one captain that ain't gonna sink with the ship.
Right.
How many times have y'all heard people that had these businesses and they eventually closed, and then when they closed it, everybody like, man, sorry to hear, sorry to hear. But y'all ought to understand, when these businesses closed, these folks done went through their damn 401ks. They done cleared, they done
everything to keep it float.
All kind of additional debt. And so they're more effed up closing than they was. I know them signals. Listen, land is not coming. The boat is sinking.
There's no land hold.
I'm finna walk the plank. Damn that show.
Throw the anchor.
Hey, shit.
Release the pontoon boats.
Well, my first song you say was, soldiers, we ain't gonna fight no losing battle.
Right.
Shit, we ain't finna do that. Retreat. Wave the white flag.
Retreat and fight another day.
Hey, man, come on now. There you go. There you go. I love that. Hey, that was a top you say, boy. Hey, live, fight another day. Shit. We don't keep on doing that shit. No. But that was a lot of times, egos and stuff like that. We've all had that, and when we start out on stuff, right? Pride have us like, I feel good, man. I'm trying to get this business off the ground, doing this kind of stuff. But you checking yourself. Again, we're talking about doing that review, that monthly, quarterly, yearly review. Man, this shit ain't working, man. We're losing a lot of money. Now you can say when you're looking at, if you have it properly placed, you may know this is our goal from January through the end of the year with this particular restaurant. Initially, those first quarter, we might be biting shit. Or maybe that first 2 quarters, because we're putting in advertising, we're putting in training, we're trying to get it out there and stuff like that. We done did the proper planning. By that 3rd quarter, things kind of leveling off, and now we're breaking even. And we might be still breaking even by the end of the year. Then the following year, we say, okay, now money coming. But you got to be realistic with that kind of stuff. That's why so many places fail, because they come in with all that optimism and they're not realism. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They hope, they think shit gonna go,
and
right?
They pray about it.
Man, everybody, I'm just saying, dog, everybody want the breakfast brunch bar, the cigar spot, the bar, and all that kind of stuff. Man, that shit
restaurant,
brutal.
bar, cigar spot, man, combined.
It's brutal. Because you understand, dog, like I say, something like a cigar. That, I love smoking. At the end of the day, man, if you ain't got cats come in there, it's cool, it's a vibe, they taking pictures, but they ain't buying shit.
They just smoking their cigar and they going to
They might buy one, they might not. They just like the vibe.
No,
the vibe don't pay
no drinks in their hand, no nothing.
Nothing.
Just hanging out with the ladies.
That's it. And you can put stuff in place like, hey, it's 2 drink minimum. You see you going to places and stuff with that. That shit might not happen. And you ain't got nobody checking it, because you barely got a solid staff in that's even reviewing that kind of stuff.
Right.
So you're paying people to work, you got enough people buying your product, along with all the overhead and all this other stuff going. Man, come on, everybody like, man, that place live, but that place is killing on.
That place is in the red every month.
Man, I done did, my past people know I done did concerts, promotions and stuff like that. Shit, I ain't never made no money. I'm trying to get that whole thing by then. You got some OGs in the game. They've been able to do it and stuff like that and everything. But shoot, man. And I still want to dabble in some stuff 2024, because I feel like I've got enough knowledge. But I still, at the end, I'll be like, man, this shit ain't working.
Right.
It ain't working and stuff like that. And I think my main problem is, just go back to everybody else, just saying, I've always invested and worked. I've never just been totally committed. I think if I totally committed to at least a show, excuse me, where I got my hand totally in it, as opposed to some of this, and
things would be different.
It'd probably be a little different.
Okay.
But I ain't got time to do that.
Okay.
So, but I will say this: if I lose $1,000, $2,000 to do that, I can live with that. And I done spent $1,000, and I came back and I done lost $400 or $500 doing that. I got a solid education. with doing it. But I do want to actually try to
At least you
get
know.
back
At
into
least
it.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. But that's why I say being honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Being honest with yourself. Because a lot of times when we try to set out these things, we're quick to blame other people instead of going back and looking at, well, what could I did different?
Okay.
Right? We do a lot of day, and not enough I.
It's
Right?
always somebody else's fault.
Exactly. And one thing I always say the lab was asking and stuff, each November, I look at what my goals you accomplished. That's what I did all last month. What goals I accomplished, or nearing where I met with a lot of stuff, and begin to strategize for the next year. Those are the kind of things you're looking at yourself, making that assessment. What do we set out to do? What do we have to get off on? What we told to quit on? What we exceeded with? Take that data. Look at that intel. And God, this might take you a couple weeks. Work the time in.
Do it.
Work the time in. Do it. Look at it and stuff. And then you can, to Lab's question earlier, this something I can roll over next year. This just something. Look, I started that shit. I ain't even like it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I ain't even like it. People, I've had over the past 20, 30 years, I've had so many people kind of pooch you. Hey, man, I got investment. I got this, that, and that. And I hear people talk all the time. And what I always hear you is a story how I can help them put money in their pocket. Not a damn.
Never
It'd be
helping
a
you.
brilliant idea of how they can make money with my money.
Right.
Well, what the hell you gonna give me? I said, yeah. Well, you had
make
enough
some money.
Man, I heard some brilliant ideas where how to have my money can make you money. Shit. Have you laughing, boy. A lot of people we know that came in with that bullshit.
Right.
Hey, man, Poochie, man, yeah, if you do this, man, yeah, this is the kind of money to make. Okay, well, shit, what you gonna give me?
Right.
That shit ain't ran across their damn mind.
Why would it?
No, because it's their idea. It's my money. Man, it happens all the time. People gonna go in these businesses and stuff like that. We're doing it like, look, man, if I'm gonna fund it, it's my shit.
It's mine.
Yeah, that's why them people go on Shark Tank with these damn ideas. Like, look, them folks like, look, I'm gonna put the seed up. They're mine. But
I need that 33 and a third.
But what we already talked about, Lab, we do a 70-30 split. That 30% is bigger than 100% you got by yourself.
Right.
But people get so caught up into the numbers. Now, I understand it, like, the big picture wise, you still make more money.
Right.
Because I can put you in a different capacity.
A different bracket.
Exactly.
Right.
Because I have access to those thousands of people that you can't get. So like I said,
I made one call and it was done.
Exactly. So that 30%, you know what I'm saying? Well, I know the guy that can help you get that contract. You know what I'm saying? But if we're going to do this is what I need. Oh, no, hell no. Shit, man, well, you ain't getting it. You ain't getting zero now.
Right.
You know,
you give me 7%. 70% of a million is a lot more than 70% of zero.
And you know,
30% of a million is a lot more than 30% of zero.
We got videos of Mr. Short Dollar in regards to even working deals and stuff like that. Because I'm a firm believer when I do a deal and I do deals with people. You want everybody get away from the table and feel good about themselves. Unless it's, you got to do some 911 rescue and people come to you. That's how it is most of the time. Like, look, man, folks don't want you to do it. Folks, I've had people, and we're going to get back on the story. I've had people come to me in desperation and knowing that, look, you ain't going to be able to do this. I had some people came to me one time. They needed a house. They had to rent a house. They had to get off of. They were finna foreclose. Wanted me to buy it. But, like, they wanted to sell it to me at market. I could take it as the loan. But because they didn't want to do that, they want to walk away with something. They let the damn thing foreclose.
Now they got nothing.
Stupid ass. Stupid ass.
Now they got nothing.
Stupid ass, stupid does. I hope you're watching. Stupid ass. You don't think about that shit now. Stupid ass. Stupid ass. You know what I'm saying? Well, why would I do that? No. If you had the money, you wouldn't be talking to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Simple.
Yeah, no. I know the house can go for 150. I'm going to give you 50.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, this is what the hell they're going to do. But now you got this damn foreclosure on your damn credit. Just walk away. When
People don't think like that.
Last shit, like
that aspect of greed kicks in.
Shit, I've been in deep parts where I like, man, this thing ain't working. I want the people, look, man, what can I give you to get out this shit? Cause I can't do it. I ain't gonna live. Well, man, give me this, that, and that. I'm taking the L, but I know the L I'm taking ain't the super L that I could take if I'm on that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's real talk. I done been on that end. Like, damn, let me just cut my damn losses. But see, everybody don't think like that, right? And so we got those things set in place. Each November, you want to look at everything, strategize for the next year. And just think about this, guys. The sum of your tasks to add up to each goal that you set for yourself. If the sum of the tasks, if for everything, if it's a weekly goal to attain, monthly, yearly, whatever, the sum of each thing you did from an incremental standpoint should add to that. This system has worked for me for years. I pretty much do it all the time. And it gives you opportunity to realistically plot your goals and make adjustments accordingly. Guys, this is my blueprint. This has worked for me for years. Like I say, some things been in and out ain't worked, but it's probably one of the biggest keys to my success. People that know me personally, they've been to the crib and they see all that stuff wrote down, and I live by this stuff religiously. Like I said, the January stuff up on the board right now.
Okay.
And what we trying to do that incremental and attainable.
I'm gonna get my January stuff on the board too.
So
I'm write my board out tomorrow.
Hey man, there you go, lad. Remember, incremental and attainable. And again,
and I write that at the top of the board. Incremental and attainable.
But make sure don't miss a step. Make sure with that timetable. Those goals you done set. Like you said, if you got 8 goals, what can we do? This is gonna be over a month. This, that, and that. I can lay that out to the summer. I can weigh that out to the fall, and everything, and move accordingly.
And my problem is, my OCD kick in. I may start out 8, then I start thinking about stuff, and then it end up being 88. And then I overwhelm myself with the 88, just don't do none of them.
At some point, you just gotta just stick with that decision. Stick with the decision with that, though, man. But listen, everybody. I want to just share with you something, man. We did.
Show said I'm gonna get my January board together this weekend.
Hey, my name Show. Check out the video, man. Go on Mr. Short on YouTube. I actually got my board laid out.
Okay.
And if you go there, just put in goals in the subject in the search part of the YouTube channel. You'll see the video. And that video, that's a short video, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes long, if that. And I showed my examples of some of the things that I did, man. But this has worked for me for pretty much my whole professional life, and that's why I've been able to do some stuff. Now I'm a very disciplined person. I get my ass up, do the same damn routine every damn day. This, that, and that. I get off. Yeah. That's that Army shit. My next door neighbor is a retired colonel. He's working at Force-Com. I got about 80-something years old. I see him every damn day. Get up in the morning, walk his 2 or 3 miles, noon, ride his bike, and then in the afternoon walk again. Former Green Beret, Delta Force, he that shit in him. 80-something years old.
He just can't get out of it.
He ain't struggling down the road. He every day. I've been in my house almost 20 years. He been doing the same shit every day.
Years.
Exactly. But I say this to say, at the end of the day, you got to make decisions if you want to be disciplined. And a lot of key things with that correlation of having success, you got to be disciplined. That's when we start going in, because words are always going to be something that keeps us from being accountable. Remember, guys, if you got goals that not wrote down, it's just a dream. And until you sit there and put that shit, like lab, ask what can I put it? Slap that shit on that damn mirror in the bathroom. Put it where somewhere you can see it, where it really messes with you. I ain't got this shit done. Right?
Right.
Mess with yourself. Where it kind of make it like it's almost punky. Do that.
I'll make mine my screensaver.
Get
on
those.
my phone.
There you go. Get those accountability things in place. Use your
Right.
Google calendars. Use those kind of things. Get you a partner. Hey man, hey little dog, I ain't gonna take it personal. Call me. But have things in place, guys. If you want your life to change, you gotta do some things that are different. You gotta do some things that are uncomfortable. And if you're not willing to do that, you can't have them expectations. You can want shit, but everybody wants shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I tell you all the time, when I left corporate America and started working for myself, it took me almost 2 years to get my finances in order. You know what I'm saying?
You say you ate cheese sandwiches and water.
Now, I'm going to tell you like this, lad, now. Your boy like dressing fly, and I like living life. I ain't want to live below your mean type folk. Cause you live below your mean, you ain't gonna have shit. So I ain't want them live. Now I ain't finna lie to you. I ain't about to live below your mean. I ain't saying, but I am saying you don't sit here and ball till you fall, then you come home and all your shit off. I'm saying just be realistic about stuff. I ain't one of them folks to tell you, well, this person has this, that, and that, cause they live below their means. I ain't shit. I work hard for my money and shit. So if you see me on social media drinking and smoking because I done bust my tail, What's what I always say? I put in 20 hours a day, so I had to work 40 hours a week. Shit, I do it.
Right.
And anybody know me how I grind. But when I party, I party. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Real talk. So don't get it twisted. He in the middle of the day smoking a cigar. Shit, I done put in my time, but I want to move like that. And I'm just saying that anybody can actually do what they want to do, but just be prepared to be uncomfortable. Because if it's that easy for people to be, my name, I appreciate you follow us on YouTube. Just keeping it real. Folks ain't lucky. Folks do shit you don't want to do, right? I never forget, man. We was I graduated from Harper, and I was in the Madden program. I done damn messed around, and my GPA wasn't as high as everybody else, and they got those damn courts.
Right.
You know, it ain't petty now. You look back at it, but I'm in there, complaining shit like a little damn girl. Well, I ain't got one. Everybody should have got one, but the people who had the 3.0s, they got them. And when my partner said, "Poot, what the hell you whining for, Poot?" They earned it.
Right.
I didn't like it, but he was right. You know, a lot of times folks get caught in your shit and looking at you like, "Damn, you got this, that, that." I earned this shit.
Right.
I earned it. And when you do things like that, you can't get salty with other folk that got shit you ain't got. They earned it. Sometimes you get lucky. Somebody die, leave some money, whatever, and all that other kind of stuff, or you hit the cash tree or whatever. That happens, right?
Right.
But for the most part, people earned it. Everybody had a car. Everybody had a house. What the hard part? Keeping that shit, right? So you got to do uncomfortable things to actually attain and maintain and keep stuff, right? So that's what we talking about. Guys, unless you're willing to do those kind of things, just talking. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we can write down all these goals and plans and all that kind of stuff. You got to be willing to do those kind of things, right? And when you accomplish things in life, it's a feeling like a euphoria. Like you feel so good of yourself.
Right.
When them divorce papers got pushed through and
so good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my ex-wife. Yes, sir. We didn't accomplish something. But serious business, when those particular things happen, you done, made some achievements and stuff like that, you feel good about yourself. You got that business up and running, you maintaining it, you got your weight down and stuff like that, you maintaining it, you got, that little thing, the little patio out there in your yard, you maintain, man, that's one of the best feelings in the world. Right. Because you knew you had to not only just set a goal, put the proper things in place and make it happen. Right. And that's what I want you guys to do in 2024. Guys, listen, before we wrap everything up, I want to give you guys, a big thank you because it's our last show for the year. A big thank you for me and my family for all the love and support you guys are giving us and the growth. We didn't really hit the goals that we had set for ourselves for 2023 as far as growing the channel and stuff like that. Nowhere near that. We're going to bust that shit wide open in 2024. But I ain't never quit because I super exceeded the goals that I had in 19, 20, 21. We kind of been a little stagnant.
Especially when we start at zero.
Exactly.
Especially when you start at zero.
Absolutely. But that's the thing about it. You don't quit. And one thing about tomorrow is there. Right. And if you got it, take advantage of it. Don't put out for tomorrow that you can do today. When you set these goals, stay incremental, do this, do that, and before you know, everything fall into place. Right?
Right.
Just make the attempt. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. Don't get deterred. Because sometimes me and you can start a race together, and we good friends. And your shit take off, mine don't. I can't stop because your motion, your movement is just that. And a lot of times people get, well, they doing it well. Your path and your journey is just that. So stay on board. Stay on board. And that 2024 is going to be super for you, okay? So again, man, thanks for all the love and support. Make sure if you haven't already came in, you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Go to Change Your Lives. Hosted by Deonte Burden on YouTube. Subscribe to the channels, and I promise we're gonna deliver you some great content, great information 2024. Also, if you haven't, make sure you go to my website, Misfits Family. Go to the YouTube channel, all the social media platforms, subscribe to it and everything. We got a lot of great stuff from all the different shows and all the different all the different shows we have on the YouTube channel and stuff. So if you haven't, Go to Westside Misfits and subscribe to the channel and all the other different shows that's on there as well. But guys, again, thanks. Go ahead, this last little bit of scotch.
Yeah. little drink for the 2023s, bringing in the 2024s.
I got lamb here drinking. Amen. But again, man, I love you all. Thanks again for our love and support, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the new year. And listen, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and I hope y'all have a fantastic and Happy New Year. Love you guys. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.